we have a construction site next door.
Mm-hmm.
This beeping sound, I don't know if it's coming through, but this beeping sound happens all day.
How fun. Do you get home and you still hear it kind of?
No,
Oh.
but I do spend half of my day yelling, go forward! Just
Plan your day better.
Just go forward. Like 10 minutes. This isn't scripted. Because it literally can't be.
Okay, from the top.
Hi, I'm Paige Lloyd.
And I'm not. That'll never not be funny. I'm Rebecca.
Rebecca who?
Rebecca Hadfield.
Okay. Salisbury house locations in Winnipeg.
Yes.
Ranked in order of preference. Architectural preference.
Aesthetic preference.
Or no reason whatsoever.
No, none.
Okay. All right. So coming in at number 10. I have... Am I reading mine?
Yeah.
All right. So
You're the architect.
Portage and Parkdale.
Yes, me too.
All right. Let's discuss why.
I just have
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just there. It exists.
It was in the vintage of the children on canopy.
The demonic children.
Are we going to call them demonic children?
We shouldn't. There goes our sponsorship. This is not a sponsored podcast.
Oh, did we?
But
Should we
we've just
mention that?
lost any chance of it being one. Yeah, it looks like it used to be something else.
I have to think that it was. If it wasn't something else, then it had a drive-through.
It looks like it used to be a Bonanza.
It looks like it
Or a
used to be a
Ponderosa.
Burger King.
Yeah. Or like a Moxie's, but before Moxie's existed. Like a Moxie Frubus. That was a band.
Is Moxie Frubus Canadian?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Portage and Parkdale. You know what I didn't do is I didn't pull up any photos. Oh, we said we weren't going to.
Yeah, because our listener can't see.
This is a rate. Are all of our listener?
This would be a good time to mention we have an Instagram for those who are visually inclined.
Okay.
Find us on Instagram and Twitter at MadeFromPod.
So coming in at number 9, Pembina and Stafford.
No,
Tell me why.
Pembina and Stafford has a rich history.
The site does.
The site has a rich history.
So are we talking about the architecture today on that site, or are we talking about the architecture in general?
Okay,
on that
architecturally,
site?
no, it's nothing right now.
That's why it's number 9.
No, but the current iteration, is iteration one of our banned words? The
No.
current iteration of the restaurant has a museum of sorts.
Well, that's true. I'm probably being unfair to it, because if we were talking about the original building,
Built in 1956.
it would be way up the list for
The
me.
Suburbanite,
Yeah,
which included a drive-in with car hops.
the Suburbanite restaurant.
Okay, so I have it ranked higher on my list,
Okay,
but only because of the rich history and current museum
I think that's reasonable.
and lovely staff.
See, I'm just looking at the sort of today architecture, strip mall architecture.
Yeah. And also, on our most recent visit, the sign was burnt out.
The sign was burnt out. They tried really hard to turn it on.
They really did. They also wondered why the two assholes that came in insisted that the sign be turned on.
No one else before or after us has ever commented on why their signs burnt out.
It also smelled of Drakkar Noir on
It
the
sure
evening we
did.
visited.
And for several hours after.
Okay, so the museum, I would think, gives it a couple bonus points. But yes, go on. Number 8.
Do you want to talk at all about what's in that museum?
Well, we got some rock and roll memorabilia.
Yeah.
You got the Guess Who.
They do.
You got the Fred Penner.
He was there. He even has a guitar.
Yes. He loves sandwiches.
He
Don't know
eats
his
them all
opinion
the
on a
time.
nip. As a children's entertainer, he probably can't have an opinion on a nip publicly.
We love Fred Penner.
We do.
So number 8, 1800 King Edward, the commissary.
Really? I had that as number 9. I thought less of it than you do.
Interesting.
A, sold out on donuts on our last visit.
That was
You got to get
disappointing.
there early.
Yeah.
And
So I would rank it higher than Pembina and Stafford simply for
The exterior details.
the SH periodic table.
The tile work.
Yes.
Yeah, that was cute. And the little Salisbury House heartbeat along the side.
EKG line, but yeah.
Yeah, and the mysterious pile in the parking lot.
We to this day don't know if it was people.
Could have been people-shaped pile.
Things. It was a people-shaped pile of things.
Okay, so commissary, also where we learned the term nip meat for the first time.
Nip meat.
Also, there goes our monetization.
Again.
Another banned word, and we're only on number 8.
Nip meat.
Nip meat. Not a wardrobe malfunction. 7? Oh, should I say what I had for number 8?
Yeah, I think so.
I had the bridge. Esplanade Real.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Want to tell me why you had the bridge at number 8?
Well, from a purely selfish level, they built it in 2005 and I wasn't even here. But all I heard about was the controversy of the $1 million toilet.
Do you want to tell the listeners a little bit about the controversy, the $1 million toilet?
Apparently it was $1 million to install the toilet. But that's all I know. And so I tend not to eat at restaurants that are associated with toilet.
It's an unnecessary reality of any restaurant.
Like Pita Pit. It's just pit. I don't like the word pit. There goes our sponsorship from Pita Pit.
What do you think of the choke cherry inn?
What are they joking on? Okay, so I had bridge. But what did you have for 7?
Oh, we're on 7?
Are we?
I had bridge.
For number 7?
Yeah.
Well, then we were close. What did you have bridge for number 7?
I had bridge for number 7 because I think that architecturally it wasn't like a Sal's.
Right.
I think the architecture predated the introduction of Sal's.
It felt like a Sal's inside.
It did. It did. And actually, if I recall, there were things in the restaurant there as well. So I think there were like historic bits of memorabilia.
It's just all overshadowed by the toilet.
It was overshadowed by the toilet. Did you ever get a chance to use the $1
I
million?
did not use the $1 million toilet. I assumed there was a toll.
There's no toll other than eating at the restaurant.
That takes the toll.
Is there anything else we want to say about a pedestrian bridge? A suspension pedestrian bridge? It's quite lovely.
It's lovely. On our last visit, the monkey tail banana stand was not open.
I heard there was money in that.
There's always money in the banana stand. No, that's about it. It has some very confusing Celtic imagery.
Stunning views.
Stunning views.
From the west end of the bridge.
Yes.
From the east end of the bridge, downtown looks a little less impressive.
Depends which way you're looking.
Well,
remember, you can see our downtown from Transcona.
Well, that's true. So that's number 7.
I had the parkade, which I'm sure you'll have more to say about.
Oh no, you didn't.
I did have the parkade. It was a tough call, but it doesn't exist anymore, and we can't find photos of it.
Okay, so should we talk?
So
there's a little more to say than parkade.
The Gary Street parkade.
Yes,
You
might know it
the
as
spirally parkade.
park. Okay, tell me about why you. So you have Gary Street Parkade at 7.
Yeah, and just purely because everything else was ranked higher.
Everything else was what?
Ranked higher than number 7.
Ay. Okay.
I know. There's no reason why it would be at number 7 other than it just got pushed into that position.
Okay, I'm not going to talk about why I have it ranked higher than you until we get there.
Okay.
If you're okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
All right.
Number 6.
6.
You go for it.
177 Lombard.
Yes, me too.
Really?
Yes.
I'm impressed at that, actually.
Okay, beautiful building.
Neoclassical office tower, built in 1909.
Yes. The Lombard location of Salisbury House opened in 2019. Fun fact.
I have it in 18.
Really?
Yes.
I think you're right. I can't read my own handwriting.
Oh.
Fun fact, though. that location has no single-use plastics.
Oh, that is a fun fact.
That is a fun fact. That's an excellent fact. It's an environmentally sound Salisbury house.
Well, I'm kind of interested. You know what? The other thing about that location is that it is probably a 4-minute walk from my office, and I didn't know it was there.
No, you didn't until very recently.
So I'll be going there.
It's about a 3-minute walk from my office, and so I will meet you there.
And we will not be using plastic.
There's so many paper straws, though. I got to warn you.
Oh no, paper straws.
All right,
paper straws make me.
So we're in agreement on agreement on number 6, Lombard.
We are.
Okay, we're good. Number 5.
Weighing in at number 5, I have Main and Matheson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, it's so cute.
It is cute.
It's the cutie patootie location.
It really is. I'll tell you why I've got it. Okay, so Main and Matheson.
You're angry because they're only open till 2 p.m.
I'm angry that they haven't cut the weeds. No, I'm just kidding. The building is absolutely adorbs, but the rest of the locations I had to rank higher.
Would you say that the Main and Matheson is the last authentic red roof location? I had it at number 3, so I'm emotionally attached to this building.
Okay, so let's talk about what this building is, because the Main and Matheson was built at the same time as Portage and Thompson.
Okay.
These two were prototypes for another 17 or another 15, I don't know which.
Okay.
That were constructed throughout the 70s and 80s.
Oh.
17 of these.
But this is a holdout and probably frequented by the original customers.
I think so.
Until 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. You know what? I really actually like the building. I'm glad that there's still one around.
Yeah.
But it got bumped down the list for me.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. What would be your go-to Salisbury House order?
Well, it has to be a nip.
Sure. Nip meat.
I do love a good nip meat. It has to be a platter because the coleslaw is exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think about that coleslaw a lot.
More than you should.
More than I should.
The best part is you can think about it later.
And I do.
And you do.
Excuse me.
I have to say, like a good nip, but I also like the Winnie dog. And for a while, when you couldn't get a whistle dog, you could make the Winnie dog like a good dupe for the whistle dog. So you could get it with the cheese and the relish.
And see, I'm morally opposed to going to a restaurant for a hot dog.
Yeah, I know. That's weird. That's weird to me. But also blueberry pancakes would be on my list.
Blueberry pancakes.
Oh, and if you ask them nicely, they will make you swamp water.
And okay, so I only just learned about swamp water.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what swamp water is, did you
for a listener,
for all of our listener, do you want?
No, it's okay. My mom knows what it is.
The lovely young Rebecca.
It's a little out of each fountain tap.
Do you think they put iced tea in it?
You could put just a splash.
I don't think they did though.
No, they didn't. She put she did 7-Up, Orange Crush, or Fanta. I don't know. An orange beverage.
Orange soda pop.
Yeah. A cola beverage. And then she did a little splash of root beer in there.
And she was actually very deliberate about the splash of root beer. It almost sounded like there was a cult following for and against.
Yes. But when the airport location was still open, which I've noticed hasn't appeared on our ranking yet, the Ellis and Roseberry actually had it on their menu as a Burton Cummings favorite.
Oh, cool.
Pepsi and Orange Crush mixed.
Oh, wait a minute. If you're just mixing Pepsi and Orange Crush.
He was a purist. I don't know. I don't know what he had against Sprite. I don't know if Sprite would actually add to the flavor. TBH.
Fair enough. It's a little lemon.
So swamp water would be on my list.
Okay.
Blueberry pancakes, swamp water, a Winnie dog, and a nip. Not in that order. Oh, and flapper pie, which I don't actually like, but it's iconic.
I don't think you should list things you don't actually like but are iconic. That would bring Jeannie's cake into the discussion.
Don't get me started on Jeannie's cake. The chocolate shavings are a loss leader. All right. What are we at? Were we at number 6? 5. What I had for 5 was Broadway and Osborne.
That you're gonna make me cry.
I know. No, it should be higher. I'm changing it. I'm changing my answer.
On the fly, just like
I'm
that.
moving Pembina and Stafford down my list, and I'm
Thank
moving
you.
Broadway and Osborne up.
I think that makes more sense.
Okay.
I hate to unduly influence your decisions here.
But you're the architect.
But Broadway and Osborne, next to the Texaco. I mean,
It was next to a brewery as well. Brewery.
did you know the history about that corner?
Broadway and Osborne?
Yeah.
No.
There was a brewery.
Well, I knew that, obviously. I just mentioned that.
There was a brothel.
Oh,
There's the legislative building.
yeah.
And there's a school.
Oh,
That corner was colloquially referred to as education, legislation, damnation,
and fornication.
and fornication.
Yes. I think we need to bring that back with some honorary street signs.
I think we should.
I'm down.
I mean, why be in Winnipeg if you can't have that?
Okay, so I've been admonished. My Broadway and Osborne moves up my list.
Excellent.
Okay, what are we at?
Well, I think we were at 4?
4.
What was your 5? Broadway?
Broadway and Osborne was my 5.
Right.
Pembina and Stafford was my 4, but now Broadway and Osborne is my 4.
Excellent.
And Pembina is my 5.
All right. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay, so number 4, 254 Kennedy.
No.
Yes.
Wrong.
Not wrong.
Wrong.
How else am I going to get Gary Street Parkade high in my list? It's the only way.
So you're wrong twice. Okay. All right. What about 254 Kennedy?
Okay, so 254 Kennedy, it was a little unsettled.
Well, it was a portable location.
It was a portable building.
Do you want to give the timeline of...
All right, sure. So 254 Kennedy is the second one ever built.
Yes.
It was a little portable building. It was the first red roof,
Yep.
and it moved in so it was built in 1932, moved in 1937 over to River and Osborne.
Yes.
I feel like we should have each of these locations recreated.
Yes. I would go to a Salisbury house at River and Osborne.
Absolutely.
Winnipeg's first suburb, by the way, Osborne Village.
Was it
area.
really?
Mhm.
And then from there in 1940
It moved back downtown.
to Portage and Spence.
See? Okay, fun fact
Do
about that
tell.
location. Are you ready for
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
When it was built at 254 Kennedy, the construction foreman was Stephen Juba.
Come on.
Later became Winnipeg's 37th mayor and served for 20 years, 1957 to 77.
And had a park named after him.
And, yeah, and most notably, had a park named after him.
A park which we could take in.
Also, that location was demolished in 1964.
That little building. Can you imagine? It's a shame they didn't just kind of
Step on it.
just move it somewhere.
Just put it somewhere. It was portable.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
I
some-
had that as my number 1.
Oh.
I'm nostalgic that way.
Well,
But also Stephen Juba. That's like kind of cool.
I think that's neat. I think that's a really interesting bit of heritage.
Okay.
Okay, so that's number 4. Number
Mhm.
3,
Maine and Matheson.
Maine and Matheson.
I love Maine and Matheson.
So high up on the list.
I know. Okay.
This is where I had Broadway and Osborne.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because that that corner.
It's so cute and iconic, and we'll put the picture on our Instagram.
And it's in such stark juxtaposition against what's there now.
Stark juxtaposition. And what is there now? Canada Life? The monolith?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
know. Broadway and
It was
Osborne.
super cute. And the brewery. I can't say the word brewery. We'll fix that in post.
There's no fixing you in post.
There'll be just a different voice.
We'll have Rebecca say Broadway. Oh no,
brewery. Rural brewery.
Rural brewery.
All right. It was Shea's Brewery and a Texaco station and a Salisbury house. I can't imagine you'd need anything else.
It's a one-stop shop.
All right. What was your number 3? No. I'm lost.
Still Broadway and Osborne.
Still Broadway and Osborne.
You haven't influenced my list yet.
Number 2.
Number
Are we on
two.
number 2?
Well, this is where I have Gary Street Parkade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
I love the architecture. I love the what's left for an actual little enterprise business has a very small footprint.
Yep. It has been many things. Kraut King,
Yeah.
Femina's,
Yeah.
other things.
All sorts.
All sorts of things.
Things of all sorts. It's adorable. It's tiny. It's just a little coffee shop.
So do we think that this one was built during the proliferation of counter service locations in the
Yeah.
1960s?
It had to have been.
Yeah.
This was 64.
Yeah. That would fit the timeline.
That would fit the timeline.
There
I'm
are
not
no
su-
pictures to prove it.
Yeah, I guess I'd really love to see a photo of the Gary Street Parkade with the Sal's signage.
Perhaps listener would have one.
Maybe.
Because our listener is 80.
Do we solicit a listener to send things? to
Please.
us? Okay.
Okay. I can see that.
Wow, I'm dying to know what you have in number 1.
What about number 2?
No, I'm sorry.
no, we can talk about your number 1 is going to be my number 2 just by process of elimination.
I haven't been able to do process of elimination.
I've been
first.
keeping track, and I know that your number 1 is my number 2.
Okay, so what is your number 2?
That would be the airport location, Ellis and Rosedale.
Oh, you break my heart.
I know, but only because of the red roof. Moving around town like a little vagabond. So let's talk about the Ellis and Rosedale location.
Barry.
Barry.
Isn't
You're
it
right. Why am I
Rose-
calling it Ellis? Fix that in post. Ellis and Barry.
No, Ellis and Roseberry.
Roseberry.
Not Rosedale.
No?
Is it?
I don't know.
You're killing me.
I'm sure it's Roseberry. It's probably between Roseberry and Rosedale.
Absolutely killing me. Young Rebecca, you want to weigh in? Is it even in here?
I don't know. Are you Googling?
No,
Do you know how to use the internet?
I don't.
Okay. The one by the airport on Ellis is your number 1.
I haven't revealed what my number 1 is.
I'm just guessing.
We're talking about your number 2.
It's the airport location.
What is it about the Ellis and Roseberry location that you hate so much?
The current condition
It's
of
in
that
the
location. It's
Yeah.
a little sad.
What do you think about the little scalloped fascia?
The scalloped fascia was cute. I think that was probably a later addition.
What do you think of the mid-century modern influence?
Well, okay, so are we talking about that location now? Are we officially talking about that location?
Well, it's your number 2, so I think we ought to.
No, I think we could skip to your number 1. Do tell. What's your number 1, Paige?
Oh, it's Ellis and Roseberry.
Oh, that's funny. Mine's right next door to Ellis and Rosedale.
So it's in the North End.
Okay, here's what I loved about it. Opened in 1954
Mm-hmm.
with car hop service.
So cool.
There are ads that you can find on the internets that for the car hops, they were looking for married women because they'd be less of a distraction. I'm not sure on which side. I'm not sure if the car hops would be less distracted or the patrons.
What
But
happens
you could
to
go there to be served by married women. It was built in what they called the California style.
Indeed it was.
So that cool mid-century look. Had car hops, as I've mentioned. And sadly closed during the pancetta, the panna cotta.
Incidentally, should have flourished
Should have flourished.
with car hop service during the pandemic.
That's right.
When could you have a better time to have car hop?
Exactly. Put people in a mask and some roller skates.
In the
It's a
snow.
license to print money. Okay, so what did you love about the Ellis and Roseberry location?
I like the architectural style. I like how the building is sited. I like the signage.
Mm-hmm.
It is true, though, that it is in a real state.
It's
right
in a
now.
state. It's for sale if anyone would like to pick it up, rehab it.
If anyone, for example, the Salisbury House investors
Uh-huh.
would like to pick it up, it would be a really nice little restaurant location.
Bring it back to life.
Yeah.
The original drawings of it or the pictures of it are quite incredible. It had that big round feature on it. Big
The
round
counter.
glass.
Oh.
Had the round counter. Still had the round counter.
Yeah.
Good place to go for some nip meat. Go watch the planes take off and eat some nip meat.
You know what I regret?
Teaching me the term nip meat.
The day you learned the term nip meat.
Nip meat, more than just a wardrobe malfunction. All right. Okay, so we kind of agree-ish on some of these.
Yep. I still don't know what's your number one because I don't have the process of
The
elimination.
first red roof, that portable.
Oh, I respect that.
And also Stephen Juba.
Yeah,
He was a firecracker.
that's a real connection. That's a real Winnipeg connection.
Yeah.
Undeniably.
We like that one. Any honorable mentions on your list?
I do have an honorable mention.
Hit me.
So it's kind of a it's not a restaurant
Mm-hmm. Per se.
per se. Rather, it is the Art Deco billboard found on the east side of the Peck building
Yes.
in Winnipeg's Exchange District.
It said you could pick up a sack of burgers, did it not?
A sack.
I love a sack of burgers.
A sack of nip meat.
A good hot sack of burgers.
That billboard had style. I'm not one who's typically going to gravitate towards Art Deco, but it's undeniably a very cool billboard.
The Art Deco style is often confused with Spanish colonial.
Or anything.
Anything. We kid.
What about you? Do you have an honorable mention?
I have two, actually.
Two.
The cigar stand
Oh, brilliant.
in the bus depot at Hargrave and Graham.
I think one other restaurant had a cigar stand.
Pembina and Stafford.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't they?
Cool. Maybe.
Maybe one of us should have done our research.
Is this a good time to tell our listener that nothing from this podcast should be brought to your next cocktail party?
I think the disclaimer could be placed
Okay.
right about here.
All right.
Do not tweet these facts.
Yeah.
Do not fact check us. Don't come for us. We don't care.
Do not use this podcast as a source for your thesis.
So cigar stand, you could pick up a cigar, a magazine,
Candy.
They had Playboys, O. Henry's,
Anything you could possibly want.
all the things. My second honorable mention is back in the 1970s, when I was a young'un. My mother worked at the MTS building on Corridon, and there was a Salisbury House right across the street
very cool.
with counter service. And my dad and I used to go and drink hot chocolate and eat donuts whilst
so
waiting
cool.
for my mother.
Very cool.
So that would be my very nostalgic honorable mention.
So I wonder if that was one of the 1960s
It had to be.
counter.
They were everywhere.
Yeah. Would be nice of us to actually have a list of those, but
But once again,
that
someone
would,
didn't do their
that
research.
would require research.
And that's it. What did you learn about Salisbury House that was surprising on this adventure?
Well, I'm still dying to know what the Salisbury House was actually named after because there's a little bit of conflict on the internet.
Yep.
So the Salisbury House website indicates that Lord Salisbury was the inspiration for the name.
Yep. Because of his love of ground meats, from what I understand.
Insert disclaimer here.
He felt a ground meat was more flavorful.
Oh yeah, that's right. That actually is a
See,
fact.
I did do my research.
That actually is a fact.
That one you can use that one at your next dinner party.
Thank you.
As you serve the Salisbury steak.
Okay, will do.
And theory number 2?
Theory number 2 is that it was named after the Salisbury steak, which was actually named after the American who invented it. So we have a little controversy.
So are you saying that the nip was in fact a tiny Salisbury steak?
It indeed was.
Just a little nip of meat.
A nip of a burger. I think one other thing that I read was that the owner didn't like the word hamburger, and frankly, I don't blame them.
You don't like the word hamburger? We could talk about that on a future episode of Made from What's Left.
All right, so yeah. Did you read anything else interesting about the Salisbury house in your travels?
No, that was literally it. Of
That was
course,
literally
there's
it.
lots of great history on the Salisbury
Oh.
houses.
What about the little kiosks at the X?
They had a little kiosk at the X that looked like the Salisbury house. There was also a Salisbury house wagon.
Truck.
Yeah, they'd pull that out for the Winnipeg Whips games.
Yeah.
Our old baseball team. And yeah, just super cute. I love their branding. I love everything. That's all I have to say about that.
There was a little
From a branding perspective.
well, also from a branding perspective,
Yes.
a little evolution of the logo.
Yeah, from the original shield design. Now they're
Yeah.
really leaning into the red roof
They really are.
and the children from the 50s.
And the
The
children.
demonic children from the 50s.
We really are calling them demonic.
Well, we don't know their names. So we could either name them like Kip and Laura, or we just call them the demonic children.
I suppose the children were also related in some way to the Kitties' Day.
Yes. You know you can win a bike on Kitty's Day?
A bike.
A bicycle.
It's unbelievable.
Probably at that time, back in the 50s, you could leave your bike unattended
Outside.
outside, and
In
it would
Winnipeg.
still be there for you.
You could go, and I can't remember whether it was 5 cents or 10 cents or 15 cents. You could get a movie ticket,
Mhm.
a meal at Salisbury House, and a chance to win a bike.
Unbelievable. How much was dinner the other night? $57?
Something like that.
Yeah, we did well.
We did eat a lot of food.
We did.
We ate a lot of food.
All right. I think we did it. I think we have explored the architectural splendor that is Salisbury House.
Splendor.
What's up next? We're going to explore more Winnipeg sites, eat some more Winnipeg food,
Yep.
try some Winnipeg candy.
Oh,
Can we get candy next time?
we can. We
Deal.
could get candy today.
Deal. All right, sign us off, Paige.
What's left, Roy?
I don't know what's left.